Hello there, welcome to Madrid, the new home of David Beckham. Now, I've conducted hundreds of interviews in the 10 years that I've known David, but I'm here in the Spanish capital for one final chat with the man who's left United for Real Madrid. So let's go inside and find out his memories of his time at Old Trafford.
Beckham! That's absolutely brilliant.
David, great to see you again. A bit strange here in Madrid. What on earth has the last month of your life been like?
Pretty much how the last 10 years have been for me, really. You know, up and down, roller coaster ride, and you know, it has been a busy last 2 months, really. Something I've not expected to go on, but you know, it has, and you know, it's part of my life now.
Is your head clear yet after what's gone on in the last 3 or 4 weeks?
It probably won't be clear till I meet up with the rest of the lads and you know, get back training and you know, and meet the people in Madrid.
Is that when it'll hit home that you're not a Manchester United player anymore?
It's starting to hit me now, you know, since I've arrived in Madrid, and obviously seen pictures mocked up of me with the Madrid kit on. You know, it's starting to sort of hit me now, but I suppose it won't really hit me until probably I see, you know, walking out at the Bernabeu with a kit on. That's when it'll first hit me.
I know you have to move on in football, but is there still a mix of emotion in there?
Definitely. You know, I spent 13, 14 years at Manchester United, always been a United supporter. Will always follow Man United because that's, you know, that's the team I support, as well as Madrid now. But you know, for me, you know, it's been a massive part of my life, and always will remain a big part of my life. You know, life goes on, and I have to move on, as well as Manchester United will move on, because the players are, it's a bunch of great players, and you know, to be part of them for 13 years and to grow up with, you know, Nicky, you know, Scholesy, Ryan, Gary, Phil, you know, to grow up with them has been a great pleasure and a great honour. You know, they'll always be friends to me, and so will the rest of the players. But you know, they'll move on as well as I have to.
And this will be different, of course, because, as I say, you just said you've been so used to having your friends around you. You've got to start afresh, really, over here, haven't you?
That's what it is. You know, it's starting totally afresh, and I'm actually looking forward to the challenge. You know, it's a big challenge for me on the field, more than anything. Of course, you know, my family moving over here any family moving to a different country is a challenge, but it's a good one that we're looking forward to, because living in Spain has always interested, you know, me, and you know, I'm looking forward to it.
How did you feel when you first heard of Real Madrid's interest, a club of their stature and size?
I was, of course, I'd said at the time that I was honoured to be even mentioned by Real Madrid, and now joining them, you know, it's going to be an absolute honour playing for them. But you know, it's such an exciting experience for me, and a big challenge, and I'm looking forward to that.
Was it always going to be Real Madrid? Because, of course, Barcelona were the first club to have a bid accepted.
Well, obviously there was a couple of clubs involved. There was obviously Barcelona, as you said, and there was AC Milan and Inter Milan. But to be honest, Real Madrid was the one that really interested me, and probably one of the only ones that I got really excited about talking to the people and thinking about playing at the Bernabeu. That really excited me.
Whilst you're in America as well, a lot was written about your relationship with the manager and whether that had anything to do with it. What's your take on that?
Well, you know, people have always said that me and the manager have had our ups and downs, and of course we have. You know, that's part and parcel of life. You know, in general, people have, you know, ups and downs with their manager, and that's it. But you know, me and the manager have always had a good relationship, to be honest. You know, he's the reason why I joined Man United, apart from obviously being a club that supported. He was one of the reasons why I joined Man United. He was the reason why I'm the player I am today. You know, without him, he wouldn't have put me in the team at 17 or 18 if he didn't, you know, have a good feeling about me and about the other players that he put in the team. So, you know, of course, I have to thank the manager for that. And the relationship, as I said, had its ups and downs, but he's always been a father figure to me, and I'll never forget that.
Going back to last season, a lot was made when you were left out at Highbury and Real Madrid at home. Did that have anything, do you think, influence the decision?
You know, that happens in football. You know, you have your ups and downs, and you know, sometimes you're out the team, and of course, me being the person and the player I am, I like to be involved in every game possible, which you know. So, you know, when you're left out of a game, you know, I was disappointed, but you know, there's great players at Man United, and you have to accept it and get on with it, which is what I did. It's part and parcel of being at a club like Manchester United, and I'm sure, you know, it'll happen at Real Madrid. You know, I'm sure there's not every game that I'll play at Real Madrid, but you know, that's football.
In your time at United, you had incredible support, both from the fans and the players. The players, first of all, I mean, obviously you've spoken to them, but you're the first one of that 92 team to leave Old Trafford, which is a big thing for the club, and I guess a big thing for them. As much as you're going to miss them, they're going to miss you.
Yeah, that's one thing that, you know, whenever anyone's asked me in the last couple of weeks what I'm going to miss about Old Trafford, it's the players and the players that I've grown up with. Because, you know, as I said before, I've spent 12, 13 years with some of these players, and you know, as you said, I'm the first of the sort of 6 to leave, and you know, it is hard. It's really hard because, you know, I regard all the players as family more than anything, and to be leaving like this is sad for me. But you know, they'll move on, and I'll move on, and you know, with a captain like Roy Keane, you know, they've got a great captain. I had a great captain, and you know, he'll lead them on to every success, because they're great players, they're great lads, and it's something that I'll always miss.
How will you look back at your time at United then?
I'll always look back on it as, you know, I've got so many great memories. You know, there's so many things that have happened to me at Man United. Man United have made me the player I am now. So I'll always have a special place in my heart for them, because, you know, I signed when I was 15, 16, moved up to Manchester when I was 16, stayed in digs, you know, met some great people, Annie and Tommy Kay. You know, they looked after me for 3 years, and that was one of the best parts of my life. Obviously, my debut against Brighton, you know, then scoring the first goal at Galatasaray, against Galatasaray at Old Trafford. You know, being in the same team as Eric Cantona, you know, has been a great honour for me. You know, talking face to face to Brian Robson, very nervous experience, but you know, an exciting one because he was my idol. You know, being put in the team, then winning the league year after year with the players that I've grown up with and friends that I've grown up with. Winning the treble was a massive thing for the club and for the players. You know, sometimes people don't realise how much winning things means to players after you do it so many times, but believe me, them players love every time that we win something. You know, we absolutely adore it, and that's what a great bunch of lads they are. And lastly, you know, the fans was one of the reasons why I probably kept going when I was, you know, after the World Cup, after '98, because it was a difficult time for me, and I needed, obviously I had strength with my family and the manager, but you know, when I was out on the field, I was sort of not alone, but you know, I needed a lift, and them fans done it for me, and that was the reason why I kept going at that time, because of the fan support that and I'll never ever forget that, because it was a special time for me.
And how important was that when you look back, because it was a turning point, '98 for you, wasn't it, particularly at the start of that season?
It was, yeah, it totally turned my whole life around. You know, I said at the time that it was a difficult time, but when I look back at it now, you know, it made me into a stronger person and a stronger player. And with the fans, they're the people that done it for me, and that's one of the other things that I'll miss most about, you know, Man United. Apart from, you know, the ladies in the canteen, you know, Albert, you know, John in the changing room, you know, Kath I'll miss immensely on reception, because she's been a massive part of my life. She was the first person sort of that I'd really kissed when I was at Old Trafford on the reception. So, you know, I'd like to say a proper goodbye to her at some point, and you know, I haven't really spoke to her yet. So, you know, she's been a massive part of my life. She's done my fan mail for the last 4 years, and you know, she's one of the people I really miss. But, you know, with the fans, you know, I'd just like to say thank you to all of them, because without them, then, you know, who knows.
And is it every player who leaves Old Trafford, whether it's after 6 months, 6 years, 16 years, always says to me, it's an invaluable lesson and an education, the lessons you learn at Old Trafford. Is that true even of your time? You've learned so many things.
Well, of course, you know, I went to school up until the age of 16. Then for me, I joined another school, because it was a football school that I joined, and there was no better football school for me to learn how to play football, learn how to become a strong player and a strong person. And with the help of the manager, the players, and the fans, you know, I wouldn't have been the player I was. And of course, there's other people I have to thank as well. You know, there's Eric Harrison, who I still speak to now, and without Eric, you know, having to go at me and telling me certain things how to do certain things, you know, without him, you know, I wouldn't be the player I am today, and I owe a massive amount to him. Man United will move on, as they always will, when, you know, when players leave. They always have done and always will do. Any great club will do. So Man United will move on, the players, the manager, the fans. You know, I adore the fans and the players, and they'll move on. But, you know, I'll move on as well.
So there you go, still very much a mixture of emotions for David Beckham, but he now has to look forward to a new challenge and a new life here in Spain. And finally, say adios to Manchester United.